Alright, well. Now what? Edward utters a deep sigh as he stands in front of the stained glass.
Did you see all those bodies? Be quite a party if they were alive.
They've probably been abandoned for hundreds of years. Must be some fascinating old stories.
I saw some pretty fresh ones, too. One who was shot. One who'd been cracked in the head with an axe. And some with no visible signs of injury. They must have been poisoned.
I bet the new ones were fortune seekers like us. That old couple must
You
have
mean to
got-
tell me they killed all those people? Rubbish!
All those deaths are rubbish?
They're all liars and thieves anyway. This is still a monastery. This is still God's house, prison or no. Why all those liars and heathens are killed is none of my concern.
How could you possibly say a thing like that? That doesn't sound very priestly.
I am not a priest. I am a bishop.
I don't give a rat's ass what you are. Look, I'm not saying that all of those people were saints, okay? But that doesn't mean that they should be put to death.
You saw that old couple. They're so well-mannered, kind. You think they're killers?
Good manners?
Yes.
Think about it. Why would they leave the place such a mess?
I don't know.
You think they'd at least bury the body?
Possibly.
Anyway, I have this strange feeling we're not alone with all these bodies and ghosts. You'd better keep your mouths shut. If you want to live.
I am enthralled. They talk over each other, they interrupt each other, they get really angry in like a believable way. Like obviously there's all these moments where like they're a little hammy, or like their line delivery is like a little iffy, like an anime English dub or something where you're like, maybe that line could go a little different. But there's all these moments where they have that escalating energy as they start arguing faster and louder, and they're talking over each other and cutting each other off. I'm like, Jesus, why is this so rare? And I know a lot of why. It's because even to this day, it's actually pretty rare to have genuine cutscenes where bespoke animations are happening, and it's like that. And this cutscene just exists for its own purposes because it's expensive to make. So to this day, even when you're playing like Yakuza or Horizon Zero Dawn or something, the vast majority of the game is spent on things where everyone takes turns talking, which inherently limits what you're capable of. Although I feel like that's not entirely the case. I feel like in many cases we're not being creative enough with the medium on what we can do even with those spaces. Like I look at stuff like a lot of these open world games where you walk up to a guy and then you talk to them, and then one line of dialogue plays at a time over and over again. And like you can press A to skip, and that'll skip that individual line. It's all synced up with the subtitles. It's all shot reverse shot where the camera's just staring at you, and then you say the one line, and then maybe you say another line, and then maybe you say another line. Then the camera reverses and to the other person, and then they say the next line, and they're all doing stony animations and so on. And it's like, you could have them talk over each other and interrupt each other in that way. It would just be different. You'd have to be more careful and playful with the spacing between each line, because there's like this I feel like there's an element of like, we just got to get this giant fucking game done, and so we're gonna handle all dialogue exactly the same. And so you get this thing where there's like the exact same pause duration between every single line, and so you can feel that like rhythm to conversations in video games that makes them really monotonous and identical and sleepy, and it makes it harder to attach to these games because it makes them like harder to follow. And I'm like, I know it's not the voice actor entirely, because like in Horizon Zero Dawn, Ashley Birch, she's in all sorts of shit. Like she's way more fun when she plays Chloe in a lot of in the original Life is Strange. Like whatever your opinions are about the actual overall game, like Chloe is more animated than Aloy is, for example, and there's more like energy to it and like back and forth, and like there's definitely better ways to handle things. And I can even imagine like you could literally have both people's dialogue in the same like line. Like instead of having like the visual novel thing where you finish a line and then like you can see in the subtitles, oh man, this line of dialogue is going to end with a dash, that means they're being cut off. But then like because you're playing a visual novel, you have to press A to continue to then hear the next line. And sometimes if it's but if that kind of stuff is voiced, like in a BioWare style game or Horizon Zero Dawn or even a voiced visual novel or something, there's a huge pause between when the previous line ends and the next one starts, like it happens all the time in Final Fantasy XIV, because it's just so mechanical and monotonous with how it does the line deliveries that interruptions are written into the script but don't actually feasibly exist in the experience we have in the game. And like, but they're good. Like that's how you make characters believable and animated, and especially how you make a conflict solid. Like I'm sitting here obsessing over this because I'm like, that little argument was so good, and I don't expect that kind of escalating energy in a PS1 game to be fully voiced and animated. Like, it's incredible. That is better. That thing, like the feeling I had there was better than like whatever the fuck graphics have been giving us. They're all like, these are all like barely intelligible clay dolls, but because they look, because they act and sound like people, they're a better approximation of humans that are believable than AAA graphics giving me stony-faced people doing canned animations at each other. Like, it's the 500th time I've brought this up, but like, what is all this budget and crunch giving us if it just gives us like beautifully rendered, less believable characters? Obviously, it's not universal. Like The Last of Us Part 2, or both Last of Us games, really. Those are what I'm talking about. Essentially, those are like they're doing this kind of emotional storytelling and believable characters that have moment-to-moment like acting while also being incredibly rendered. But my point here is that you can have the game look like this and you can still get most of the way there, but because we want things that sell well at E3 trailers and so on, and screenshot well, even though the screenshots are super doctored in magazines and online publications and so on, and Steam pages, like there's such an obsession over that stuff, and people being mad about fucking Kratos still using the same boat animation or whatever, and it's like, guys, we are valuing the wrong things. Because look how good I love seeing really weird games from the past because of the weird different direction everything could have gone in. Essentially, like there's these weird moments of promise where a deeply flawed game gets something so right. Because I love so much of this game, I just really don't like the combat. It's not even explicitly just the fact that the combat exists and is that kind of combat. I even prefer tactical RPG over, or tile-based, grid-based RPGs over turn-based, like two parties facing each other RPGs. But its implementation is really iffy when you're just trying to explore. Like, this game would gain several points for me in a world where I give a shit about rating things on a scale. Just if it didn't have these random encounters. Like, if it had fixed encounters at specific locations, like when I opened that door I got to fight. I'm like, okay, well this is a milestone, come on, fight me, sure. But like, this game otherwise looks and feels a lot like Resident Evil, where you're walking around this big building and you kind of you want to rub your character on everything and hit A and try to like see how much text comes up and find secret items, and you're trying to figure out even what the right way to go is, because it's a big like mansion and so on. So having your exploration be interrupted by random encounters that often take minutes to resolve is not a fitting replacement for zombies. Because in Resident Evil, you're exploring this big labyrinthine level, and your exploration is hampered by zombies, which is a different kind of obstacle. So it does make sense to have obstacles, but those zombies are not a multi-minute interruption, and they don't take you out of the world, which does several things, because it interrupts your ability to navigate the world. It fucks up your ability to like mentally map where you are and where you're going. It disincentivizes random encounters, disincentivize exploration because they're this hassle that happens on a timer. So you can literally be in an empty room, but just the fact that you're walking around in that room looking around suddenly means you're gonna fight 5 more random encounters, and then you're like, okay, it's been 20 minutes, I'm just trying to look around this one room, because that's the reality of that. Like, the first episode of this series was rough because I didn't go in the arbitrary direction that triggered the cutscenes that I enjoy so much. And so I just had to keep doing random encounters while I went up and down a dead end, essentially. And then I went that way later, and then now the story is happening there. It's like, this entire game is hampered significantly by just that one choice. And I think it's like, it very much feels a bit like, and I don't know if this is the case, but it feels a bit like, I think I heard that Deadly Premonition wasn't supposed to have combat in it originally, or like not supposed to be full of zombies at least. And then those like weird, almost like random encounters happen throughout the game where you go into a place and you investigate the narrative and you meet some quirky characters and it's all Twin Peaksy or whatever. And then suddenly the walls are bleeding or covered in vines or whatever, and now you gotta fight the backside upside down bendy people, and like the opening encounters with those guys are cool, but the way that the game just kind of switches between having a narrative and having a combat sequence over and over again with very little like comprehensible connective tissue was always like a weird mess. And this one's not breaking tone necessarily. I mean, the monsters exist in universe very clearly and everyone knows about them, even if they're really weird. Like, some of them feel more thematic and some of them are very strange in a JRPG style, but it's not as weird as like, and now there's slimes. Da, 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 da. But like, it's interesting. I don't know. This is obligatory rant. This is why, I mean, this is what you get when I play something really interesting. I'm thinking about a lot of things, and it often expresses in the form of frustration about other games. There are various objects piled haphazardly everywhere. I wonder if there's like indie Koudelka likes, but without the parts I don't like.
Koudelka, did you find anything?
No, nothing, but...
Who's that?
He startled me. How did he pronounce her name? Please insert disc 2. Here's the downside, obviously, of this approach. We're only 2 hours in, and that's with me taking too long and also stopping to talk for 10 minutes. We're on disc 2. Here's where I reveal the fact that this game has 4 discs, and it is supposedly not long. Like, vague estimates might be like 7 hours, and it's 4 discs long. So like, they paid for their approach in that way. Holy shit! Having all these voice tracks on a PlayStation game and like dedicated animations, but like, bravo, bravo for what was totally a bad idea, probably. Anyway, I'm gonna pop open my PlayStation that is right in front of me, making all this loud CD tray noise you can hear in the background, and I'm gonna insert my my second disc right now. Here I go. Change, yeah. Here I go, changing my disc. Oh yeah. Click, smack, chunk. Like I fucking tracked down a copy of Koudelka. Do you know how hard it is to get this game? I mean, it's not LSD, but it's like... I mean, it's like, obviously I don't own a copy of Michigan either. Detroit Become Hell. Fucking the rarest games on the fucking planet. Rule of Rose. At some point I kind of caved on my principles a bit, and it's like, I can't cover these really cool, interesting games like LSD, Rule of Rose, Michigan, and Koudelka if I make myself actually buy them. Ow! He's got a gun. Fuck. Alright. There, let's zoom out a bit. I need to get planned. Hello, Tank Man. Block that from happening again. I don't know how realistically you can stop that from happening, because they can't just like go around. He's just an upside down multi-faced gunman, a sentence I just said. Oh, paralysis is good. It's good for preventing you from doing that again. Ew. I love the monster designs in some of these cases. I mean, this one, I mean, I'm saying that, like, I'm having the thought right now because I love this monster design in particular, I guess. This is cool. It's just a guy hanging from the ceiling in slacks with a weird extendo head. And he's got a gun. I mean, if you weren't freaked out by everything else, he is pointing a gun at you, so... Boo. It's really funny. I kind of dig some of the combat. It's just too slow. The animations are really... It's one thing when you actually cast a spell, at least, but a lot of the other animations just play too slow, or there's like, it waits too long between them. And you're like, okay, you can go. And admittedly, I don't know if that's an emulation issue, because I can't really compare. I'd be surprised if a single video exists of this game that even is natively the real game. Not everything gets the Anachronox treatment, where it gets picked up by, like, GOG, and we get to keep this really weird game. But that's an example of a similar tone of game that I like covering these. I like covering really specific, weird pieces of history. They're not my history. I didn't play these games. I just want to discover how strange things were. I love how vibrant and odd AAA gaming was, or like, I don't know the definition of AAA exactly, but you know, games that were printed on discs and available in physical stores because that was how games existed, and only how games existed back then. Got a new axe that might be stronger? No. It is not. And this Tibar makes me so slow, although he is faster. He is much faster. Can I get out of prison now, please? That's a lot of bodies. I'd be concerned. Oh. Okay, so watch her head, I guess. As per Silent Hill, I think. I think it's Silent Hill. Oh, that's an item in the foreground, not the background. The crate box thing. These guys are, oh yeah, these are pretty good creature designs. They're fucking weird. That's a weird wolf creature. And it moves weird. Maybe because it has to move on tiles. But it's really uncanny and creepy. And I appreciate that about it. You know, actually, let's get in the way. Koudelka's spellcasting a lot lately, which means she doesn't need line of sight. Not quite doing those like 400 damage hits anymore. I guess the weapon that did break. I have revived now. Thank you. That is what I need. Wow, she has 150 magic, or MP. That is very good. 700. Delete, apparently. Oh, it's eerie. It's like a mermaid werewolf. Like, it's got, like, I think it just has human legs. So it hops around like a frog, because its legs are so long. I love weird-ass monster designs. James Oaf. I didn't read that enough, but it looked Irish. I can get way closer than I thought I could. Oh, also that thing doesn't seem to be an item. How do I leave this room? Oh. Did I just find more items in the same spot? How do I leave? Ew. This is an Elden Ring boss? Walks all daintily. While being like a smoldering crater. A little nervous about the fact our weapons apparently break. I guess I have it. I'm definitely getting them faster than I'm losing them, so I should be okay. Well, this thing's durable. I have a bunch of elemental magic, but I don't know what element anything is, or which elements are good against each other. I guess maybe I could look up the manual again. Those are some high pants you got there, buddy. Probably want to keep getting some vitality, or you'll be in trouble. If you can't survive some gunshots, then we're all going to be in deep shit. Why did that reset to that angle? That's a weird section. I wish you could move and mash the interact button. Also, it feels like I should be able to get this box. Alarming. Let's get in the way just in case he can shoot those at her. Although he could just like... The issue with blocking things with line of sight is that just like how it's... Oh. Just like how I can just move slightly to the side to dodge past my guys to shoot past them. Like they can very easily just move to hit me. Although I think paralysis might make them unable to walk around, which is useful. You dead? Yep. He attacked twice. It did mention, like, people level up their, like, skill. So maybe he leveled up his bludgeoning in a way that lets him, attack more than once. At least sometimes, I hope. This wall weirdly looks like it might open or something. It's all crumbly. Okay. You see a pile of corpses. Cool. I feel like I wasn't looking at that. I feel like I didn't trigger that interaction before. I don't know if it matters, but... Oh. Black screen. That's a good sign.
Darn.
How does it look? Do you think we can get out?
I don't think so. You'd need the strength of a bear to break those bars with your hands.
What do you mean we can't get out? How hard can it be?
Why don't you ask these guys?
Damn it! Did you see that? Someone's in here.
Will you shut up and get us out of here? How hard can it be for thieves like you to get us out of a place like this?
Try saying that in the East End, holy man. Your severed head would hit the ground before you even finished the thought.
This is worthless. I can't believe I'm wasting my time on you. I'm on a mission from God.
What a waste. Such a terrible waste. My name's Charlotte. Not that it means anything. Not that you have a prayer. I'm talking to 3 dead people. Nobody's gonna save you. Nobody.
So you died here as well?
Yes, I died here too, hundreds and hundreds of years ago. They locked me up in here right after I was born. They beheaded me the day I turned 9. Happy birthday. I've been trapped here ever since, and no one even knows who I am.
My poor little angel.
Poor little angel, me? Save your pity for yourself. You'll be dead within 3 days.
Not true. I don't know what your circumstances are, but I know that your mother loved you very, very much.
My mother? I don't know her face, her name, where she came from. Nothing. You're telling me that means nothing? From the day I was born, the day I die, no one ever loved me. And I never wanted to be loved. Just die! All of you! Just die!
You're all going to die down here. I'm taking this. I'm guessing this is like a boss fight or a story fight. Look at their MP values. 136, 40, 8. It might as well block. I don't think I'm even reloading her gun. That's the situation we're in at this point. Good. Oh, he's fast. So what is the elemental weakness of a musketeer? It seems you can't target your teammates, I don't think, with attacks at least. So I guess you just can cast heals on your enemies? Which might suggest that you might want to. Take me back to, Final Fantasy X with the killing the enemy with healing spells and Phoenix Downs and whatnot. I'll always remember that there was like one really hard boss that I got really stuck on for like days, and then when I finally did beat it, he showed up later and he was undead, and so I killed him with like 3 Phoenix Downs. I just threw them at him, and that was very funny. Well, we definitely got some grinding out of my being stuck and lost there for a long time. Whoa! So how's that for some experience? Holding a rifle! An even bigger gun. Well, I was right about one thing. That wall does open up. It did look oddly like it stood out. Let's see. Oh right, B. I keep trying to press start to open menus. Now James has the least health? I guess I have been double leveling Koudelka for a few levels. She's 24. Oops. She has the most vitality. At least before the negative multiplier. Yeah, now James is behind. Womp. I'm curious about giving him a gun, since nobody's using guns really right now. I'm curious to see if he does a bunch of damage with it. This seems like the weakest one. They have elemental names on them, but I don't know if that equates to them actually having elemental strengths and weaknesses, because that's not stats that are shown here. But maybe they amplify that element of damage. Man, I'm so frustrated that I threw away my first and apparently still only armor. That is, that's a little bit absurd, honestly. Alright, back to having content. I do not like being trapped in a, well, this is unwatchable territory. I'm like, well, can't leave any of this in, just gotta, now I gotta record more than normal, and then just hope it's enough after editing, because I don't know how much I'm editing out. I was there for a while. I've got a gun. What is the weakness of a werewolf? Is it bullets? I don't even need to approach you anymore. Gah. I think I'm pretty much just casting Megalith because it's the most recently unlocked one. But I don't know if they have like comparative strength. Or if you can even check that. Holy crap. That sounds suspiciously like the Final Fantasy Victory song, right? Da 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 da. It sounds like a blurrier version of that song, if you know what I mean. Like, the same pitches vaguely exist, but it sounds like we're sliding through them without distinctly landing on the notes. Yeah, I could be wrong, but I don't even see a spell book. Oh wait, that was here, right? I don't think I can click on this. What does that mean? Fortify strength 80. Is that the... I think that's the experience of each skill. Yeah. Because I've cast Megalith more than anything else, and it has 480. So I think that's the experience level I have of Megalith. Weird. Yep. That's more... This is more explicit. Or not. I don't know if it's more explicit. I have, she's level 2 with gun, because she shot with her gun a lot. So using the same action over and over again levels it up, which incentivizes me not to vary my actions, actually. Making it a kind of a questionable approach. This guy's got a bit of fist experience and a bunch of mace experience now. Whereas this guy's been kind of all over the place, and now he's going to use a gun. So I may be making some iffy choices there. James O. Flaherty? Flaherty? Plunkett. Oh. Okay. Oh. Wow. Feels like I'm not even close to the table, which is that's where I thought it was. Maybe I am close to the table. I guess I was. Okay. That was on the table. Knuckles. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Mace. It's just a regular mace, surprisingly. It seems to increase spellcasting stats a bit. That's interesting. And fire knuckles. That does make me wonder if I should switch to it, if it increases my spellcasting stats. It does. By a fair amount. Everything gives me more piety. I think the gun reduces my piety. I guess you might as well use this mace then. Did I lose? Oh, I lost agility. Is losing half my agility worth getting some better spellcasting stats? That could make her really slow. Maybe I should just spend the next level on agility to get it to be higher. Did she double step those? Dungeon. Underground. I've noticed the world has grown more purple. Can't catch me. I'm a bishop with a shotgun. You know, like from the Ravenholm, yeah. Was he a bishop? I don't know. There's the guy who gives you a shotgun and you're like, oh my god, thank you. I guess I'm incentivized just to spam Megalith over and over again. This seems like a non-ideal system. I get where they're going for, like the idea that you use an ability enough that you get like a super version of that ability is like on paper interesting, but every time I see it actually get implemented in anything, I'm like, you're incentivizing me doing the same thing over and over again instead of like making whatever seems like the smartest choice on the fly or whatever, which just kind of flattens combat and makes me do as little thinking as possible while I spam the same action indefinitely. It's probably even worse for the spellcasting. Because at least when you're using weapon types, there's the part where like, oh, my weapon broke. Like the weapon type you specialize in can just become unavailable. So you might have to change, and that's just like a vaguely like survival horror kind of feeling where you're like, it's not my ideal tool, but it's what I've got, and I'm just gonna have to live with it. Which is pretty different. Whereas spellcasting, it's like this entire system basically just exists for you to like use whatever ability is the best against the thing you're fighting. Like, you're supposed to think and use the correct thing. Like, I'm thinking about, like, how not helpful it would be in, like, Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, my normal pipe broke. What am I gonna do without my normal pipe? It is my strongest weapon ever. Actually, it's not true. I think it was weaker than my other strongest weapon, so I'm, like, descending in quality now. But the, like, think about, in D&D, I love playing, like, utility belt characters. To do the, like, a Batman comparison, I guess. Like, I like to play as characters who have a bunch of tools that they can play with. So I want to be able to, maybe I should, he could still use health. He's trailing behind. I was thinking maybe I don't need that much health now that he's ranged. Just getting a regular ring is interesting, because then you have to look through all your items and then try to find the specific ring that they gave you, which is now named something different than it was when you got it. Fire ring. So the rings really consistently increase your spellcasting stats. Oops. But they're getting weaker consistently, it feels like. That one's pretty close. Piety affects resistance, so we might as well give you some. Alright, so looking for the highest number that isn't light, so ignore these ones. So 35. 34. 46. He'd be slow with this, but he is faster than the other guys, so maybe yeah, I'm just gonna give him the Tabar. Gotta use up that durability at some point. Alright. I got off my topic a little bit, but I have to manage the game for a moment. Why is my heal button gone? Oh. Why are you really bad at this? Okay, so let's just switch to Koudelka. There we go. Okay, so the way that this works control-wise is that heal casts the heal spell. And it's casting it... I thought it was just, like, kind of choosing where to cast it from, like everyone helps each other out a bit. It's casting it from the card that's in front right now, and you use the L1 and R1 to switch between the characters in the front. And so you actually it's actually relatively snappy little interface there, like nice and clean once you understand what's happening, at least, because it's a little obscure what's happening at first. But yeah, the person who's using up the MP is the person who's in the front card, which also means it's the effectiveness of the cast, because a lot of these people are just really bad at this. There are name tags attached to the mummies. They read Valna and Vigna. You see something green and shiny between the two bodies. It looks like the green key, but you can't get to it. Valna and Vigna are in the way. You want to pull the green key away from Valna and Vigna? Okay. As you try to take the key away, the mummies begin to speak. Valna says, "Give us back our dolls," and Vigna says, "Run! Get away while you still can." And then we have to fight. Are the dolls one unit? It seems so. Oh no, they hugged and didn't get shot by bullets. Friendship conquers all. Would you like giant axe in face? Uh-oh. I don't know if you can hurt them with these. Physical attacks might not work. Ooh. What is the trick here, I wonder? But yeah, there isn't an inherent repetition to turn-based combat, which I'll often... Oh, no. Spell casting didn't work either. Now I'm just fucking worried. Okay. That's pretty concerning. I don't have any... Heal them? Is it one of these? Hmm. Alright. Let's try to use something explicitly light element. They not attack ever? Dude, Koudelka, do you ever have a turn? Is she, it doesn't say a status effect. Holy shit, she's really slow right now. I guess she usually doesn't have another turn. Okay, so... What am I gonna do here? Can you run away from fights? Let's see. Can you run away from fights? Escape. Press circle during battle to call up the escape command. Wow, you really had the manual for this. Okay. So here, then... Wow, it's a secret! Why is it just in a menu somewhere? Oh, did she fail but he succeeded? That was starting to feel pretty undoable. The green key. Is that the glow of the green key? I find it at last? There are human bones scattered everywhere. Yep. Boop, 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 boop. Is this the... Are you the Eraserhead baby? Die of bullets. Stop living. Thank you. This has been a freaking 8th term abortion. I forgot what... I forgot how to count terms. Okay, so let's fix up this party. Oh. At one point I thought I was changing which one I was selecting with the A button or something, but you really do just you just select the right card, then press X to then select that character, and then just move them around. I totally thought I was toggling between the pieces somehow, like separately from the cards. Hello. What's that? It's a tank filled with acid. Would you like to take some acid from the tank? Like, with my hands? You can't take anything from the tank unless you have an empty container to put it into. Okay. Oh, you worried me a little bit. Oh, hello. You're not the background. I'm rifling through this ammo, huh? Something's not right. Dippo. Do. Oh, God. Horrible. Why? It's so much. There's more. Are you a boss fight? I feel like I'm seeing a trend where they say that something's not right, and then a fight happens. That might be a unique fight. Uh-oh. I really was desiring some damage. Okay, that's more than one. Are you specifically resistant to bullets? Is that even on the table? Hopefully you're very weak to getting exploded. Ow. Is that always gonna happen? 6? Might I need to switch to melee again or something? Let's be spread out a little bit so he can't hit both of us at the same time, hopefully. He has over 1,000 health points now. I really winced at taking like 200, but we're pretty alright. Oh! Oh! And we gotta get you some more... we gotta get her some more agility next time she levels up, because she's very strong. It just takes her forever to do anything.
Stop it.
I don't know how strong things are because it doesn't show up in this menu. Shit. Changing weapons takes a whole turn anyway. Oh, it's his turn again. Wow. Well. Not really knocking it out of the park, are we, Father? Daddy. How is it your turn again? Why are you missing? Is air bad? Did we strike out with air? I think this is a normal weapon. At least does damage. When is it? When do we get to cast a spell again? Damn. Funnily enough, a fire axe is just a normal thing in real life, so I wouldn't expect it to have fire damage on it. Though I'm sure it does. Damage, please. Okay. Well, it's not 0, but you're still basically not contributing. So, there's that. Man, we really need these spells to start coming in. I hope it's a boss fight so that I can give her more points if she levels up. And that seems like a likely outcome of a boss fight. I'm in danger. I should just be casting spells with him, even if he's not as good at it. It's gotta be better than this. You're getting stuck in the corner now. He's not gonna get it back up soon. I guess he should just cast spells healing himself. Which might be trash. Might not even be worth trying. First attack, unfortunately, kind of felt like a spike. Man, he heals himself for less than the damage he's taking. Yeah, I think she did like 1100 the first time, and that's not been staying true. Ooh, second damage sound definitely felt like it was a death. I am made of paper mache. Okay. Please have agility. Everybody fucking leveled up. Icon's ring. Weren't we getting those before? It's shining with a sacred light. It appears to have been purified by the holy water. These are like basically giving me permission to end episodes whenever they happen. Like, really? I can save? Oh my god. Thank you so much. Oop. Level 3-1? Were we level 3 and 1 last time I saved? I think we're all level 10 now. Whoa. I guess that was an eternity ago.